It's Christmas time. Oh, hello everybody. It's me, Chris Smith. And guess what? It's time for an April this and that. You know, I only aired one episode in March, and that was a reunion of me and my niece and nephew when we discussed not having starred in our childhood fake movie, The Hunchback Killer. But I have some other videos that I want to share because I was home in West Virginia, and I was in Virginia too, because my mother sold her house. So we were cleaning out the last of our stuff. Now somebody else lives in my house, so you won't see any more videos except the ones that I'll show you from that last weekend in March. Oh, somebody's in my house. Well, it's their house now, and we do wish them well. I call them the Clarks, but that's not their names. So anyway, that's one of the things we'll have to look forward to in April. I probably won't put every video up because who wants to see me going through piles of rubble and throwing away my treasures? But I did bring some treasures with me, and I'm going to show them to you now. Now, you'll all remember when I wore this in that trick-or-treat episode with my niece Alex, or my niece and nephew Avery and Alex, known as Dear Alex and Avery, in very special segments. Of course, now Avery's in college and Alex is in high school, so they are too old and too cool to do videos with their old Uncle Baba. Not that I've asked, of course, because I know not to try and be, to ask such things and then be rejected. But this mask, which I call my Alyssa Milano mask, was back in West Virginia, and I brought it because this is memorabilia. Look what else I brought. This is Hugo, the man of 1,000 faces. Now, boys out there from the 70s will remember that Hugo, and probably maybe it was the early 80s, Hugo was the equivalent of the little girls' Barbie heads, those big Barbie heads that little girls had, that they could do her hair and put makeup on her or whatnot. And Hugo, little boys could play with, and I'm sure some little girls too, but he came with scars and beards and a wig, which Willie Talk is now using that wig. He gave it to him many years ago. So, and look, his inside is hollow, so you could almost use him as a puppet if you wanted. So I bet we'll be doing lots of fun things with Hugo. Hello, Hugo, welcome. And guess who else came with us? It's Vernon's sister, Vady. Now, look, her outfit is just this oversized pair of parachute pants, and my coworker Liliana said that that Vady's nipples were showing because I showed her a picture. So we're going to try and pull it up so that she's not having a wardrobe malfunction. But she's come out here to live with us. I brought all the things. The only thing that I didn't bring, and I sort of regret it now, I'm so sorry, I had this Bert puppet, from Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. And Bert had been in the closet all that time. No pun intended, but he had been in a pile of stuff in the closet. And he was all covered with, stuff. And I don't know why I didn't think to throw him in the washer machine or something, or just hose him off. But I was like, okay, I'll throw Bert out, and I did. And now I'm like, oh, I wish I'd kept that Bert puppet. So I am sorry, Bert, but we just said that he went back to Sesame Street. When we put all of our stuff in the front yard in garbage bags, the garbage men were supposed to take it. They were supposed to take like 20 bags a week, and we had tons of bags out there. And when the new people moved in, our trash was still there because they were not picking up the trash. So it's so embarrassing. If anybody still lives back there in that area, let me know if the trash is still there. Not that it's our problem anymore, but we were paid up. My mother was paid up and to have her trash collected, and for about a month they had not done it. So I'm so sad about that. What else? Oh, this is my urn. Talk about Ernie. His name was Ernest, and it was an urn, but it was a piggy bank that I had since I was a little child, and it had on it, a penny earned is a penny saved. Well, I decided I want to be buried in this urn. Not while I'm alive, of course, because you'd never fit me in. Even my head, I don't think would fit in here. But look, the bottom screws out, and if we can get the mortuary or whoever, the crematorium, to agree to it. I don't know if they care what you're put in, really, or if there's like some sort of health violation. But if we seal up the top and pour me in through here, wouldn't that be a wonderful final resting place, an old piggy bank? And of course I'll clean him up more and fix his sign so that it says Christopher Allen Smith, born, died. And maybe I'll have, well, I don't know if I should take off this. Maybe I'll add a little sign back here. Of course, I'll be dead, so I won't be doing it. I know that's morbid. It's morbid and twisted, but that's me. I love it. Look, I brought my yearbooks. My 10th grade yearbook. They were always living back there. My 11th grade yearbook. Yes, look how old I am. I was in the 86 in the 11th grade. And of course, my senior yearbook from 1987. So now they're with me, and a lot of other things are with me. So I feel more complete. So those are just some of the fun little things that I have here. I'm still unpacking boxes that I sent, and my poor sister sent like a billion boxes to me. And I am so sorry, Jeanette. If I can pay you back somehow, I will. You know what I would like to do? I'll give a kidney to someone, and I'll do it in Jeanette's name. And that, or maybe she might want a kidney someday. And I think that would help pay for the boxes, wouldn't it? But yes, what else? Oh, has everybody been watching Roads to Keystone? Did you hear? Episode 14, the long-awaited episode 14, finally dropped on YouTube and at roadstokeystone.com. And this is the episode that I appear in as Judge Silas Finnegan, the older brother of Father Finnegan. Do you want to see Father Finnegan? Here's what he looks like. Isn't he handsome? But yes, we're filming this coming weekend for some scenes in episode 16, I believe. I've already filmed my scenes in episode 15. And 15 and 16 should be dropping in July. And then you will have all 16 episodes to do with what you will. If you watch them all together, once they're all there, that will be our whole first season, even though it's taken many, many years. But you know, we're a very small band of cast members, and George P. Barr Jr. runs the show all by himself and does all the roles in the show except for what me and Brad play. And of course, all the roles behind the scenes. That's the writing, the makeup, the hair, the costumes, the sets, all of it, the editing, just so much stuff. So that's why it takes so long for us to do episodes, but it's going to be a nice complete meal when you can watch all 16 together. Do check it out, and then if you want to donate, you can go to the GoFundMe. Yes. Um, did you all hear that Lynne Stewart died? Now, she died back in February. She played Miss Yvonne, the most beautiful woman in Puppetland on Pee-wee's Playhouse and other Pee-wee specials. And look, I have my Pee-wee Herman show poster from Broadway that's hanging up on my wall. I didn't see it on Broadway, but I did see it when it came to LA, so that was a thrill. But this is the picture that Miss Yvonne herself, Lynne Stewart, had signed for me back in probably the early 90s. In fact, her signature is faded. You can still make out To Chris. And she didn't even sign it Lynne Stewart. She signed it Miss Yvonne, and it's so faded. Celebrities, I suggest using really nice pens, especially one that will show up in black and white photographs, and I would have signed down here, but that's just me. I'm certainly thankful to Lynne Stewart for being nice enough to come to a signing, and I had bought the whole box set of Pee-wee's Playhouse, but it was on VHS, and they were in a box in the garage here at my current residence, and these awful neighbors, their sink leaked all over into the garage, and because these were cardboard boxes, my soap opera digests were destroyed. You'll remember that episode of my show. And of course, that Pee-wee's Playhouse box set was just all wet and bubbly and blah. So I threw that out, but at least I have this picture, and we're so sad that Lynne Marie Stewart is dead. They said that she had found out that she had a tumor and then died a few months later. It's very sad. Have you all been watching Beyond the Gates on CBS, the new daytime soap opera? This was the first new daytime soap opera on a network since 1999 when Passion started, and the first black soap opera, because the majority of the cast is African American, since Generations, which was a half black, half white show, cast member wise, and that started in 1989. So it's very groundbreaking. Now, I've been watching, I haven't done a video about it because I wanted to watch for a solid month, and it started in February. So, and I still have 3 episodes from last week to watch, but we have passed the month mark, so soon I will do a review. It will be mostly positive. There's a lot of good to say about it, and there are some things that there are some growing pains, as all new shows have. Some people's acting is better than other people's acting, and it is very hard to put on a show of that size with brand new actors or a brand new cast assembled, new people behind the scenes, new sets. Everything is new, and sometimes you might have a storyline that's not working. There's an entire storyline about someone that wants to design and sell purses, and perhaps I'm not that thrilled about a storyline involving purses because I don't care about purses. But that's just one little example. But yes, we'll discuss that in another video. But if you have been watching it, do write it below in the comments, or wait till my review and tell me what you think there. What else? Oh, did you all hear that Merrily We Roll Along, which was on Broadway last year with Jonathan Groff and Daniel Radcliffe and Lindsay Mendez, it was filmed on the stage, and it's going to be shown. I think Sony Classics acquired it, and they're going to be showing it now. It'll probably be later this year. We don't have a release date at this time, but won't that be heaven, sheer heaven? And speaking of, I'm going to go to New York in May, Lord willing, and I still have to get my real ID, and I have an appointment this week at the DMV. It's like jumping through hoops to get that real ID, and I know that many, many of you do, But I think the deadline is either May 5th or May 7th. It's in early May of 2025. You know, they kept moving it because of the pandemic. But now it is here. And you've got to have your real ID to fly domestically. I'm told that you can still fly internationally with your passport, but I believe you have to have that real ID to fly, and it's like a little symbol at the top of your driver's license. So I'm hopefully going to get that on when I go to the DMV. And hopefully that will be speedy, because I do not want to have to take the train to New York. And I'll do another video telling you what shows I'm going to see, and then there will be lots of new shows to review. Here in LA right now we have the Harry Potter play. Now, the only hesitancy I have about it is the whole J.K. Rowling thing, because she turned out to be a terrible, terrible anti-trans person. And we do not need transphobic people out in the world spreading their hate. And so, in one sense, I'm like, oh, do I want to support this show? But I don't think that, I think that a lot of the stuff they've sort of washed their hands of her. So I'll probably see it and do a blessing to get rid of the bad juju of J.K. Rowling and her mean, mean ways. Oh, guess who's here? Oh, he wants to say hello, but he was napping, and I just grabbed him up out of his sleep. Well, you were awake, weren't you? It's Blackie Humphrey. He wanted to say hello. I told him, oh, thank you. I told him I was doing a video, and he got so excited that he took a nap. Oh, he's so beautiful. I saw a new movie with Naomi Watts and Bill Murray called The Friend, about a giant Great Dane whose owner, Bill Murray, commits suicide. And his friend, Naomi Watts, has to take the dog, but she lives in a rent-controlled small apartment in New York, and the building does not allow dogs. And the dog is mourning his owner, and it's very sad, but very beautiful. So I recommend that. But anyway, I think that that's all the time we have for today at This and That. But, oh, hold on. Did you see this picture? Hold on one second. Okay, so those of you who follow me on Facebook, my family took this picture in 1974. Look, that's me, the little one. We were going to my brother Tim's wedding, Tim and Kathy's wedding. And so here's, we were wearing our Poseidon Adventure type garb. The ties were so big in those days. So here's the cast back then. My mother, my brother Tim, Jeanette, and Jim Smith. And here we are in our kitchen. And then we had to do a recreation of it. Now, we didn't have the ties. We didn't have time to get the outfits, but we all posed in the same spots, in the same kitchen, different window treatments and everything. But everyone's older, perhaps a little wiser. There's Betty. You all know and love Betty. And here are the siblings. So, yes, so that was a treasure that we got to go and do that, because it was really bothering me if I wasn't going to be able to go and say goodbye to my house. I had to say goodbye to the house. I had to get my treasures, and I had to go through each room and thank the house for being our house since 1961, I believe. So I think it was 61 or 62, but I think 61. Of course, before I was born, way before I was born. But I had to thank the house. You have to. I always told you all this back in the day, before I had my show, but I told everybody. when I had the mailroom, I would always say, "Good night, mailroom. I love you." You have to love places, as long as you really love them. If you hate someplace, don't fake the funk, because the place knows that you don't like it and they don't like you either, or it doesn't like you. But you should put out positivity into the universe and thank your surroundings and make it a pleasant place to be. Anyway, and my house was a very pleasant place over the years. But that's all the time we have for today. Hello, Vady. We'll see you next time when it's Christmas time.